Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to today's video, which is a follow-up part 2 of the accuracy issues with my BSA Super 10 ball barrel carbine. Now, last Friday, which should be a week ago today because I'm hoping to get this out for this Friday. Last Friday, I put on a video about this gun. I've done videos on this gun before I even owned this particular one. I love these guns. They're the nostalgic thing for me, and guns is a big thing. This is hugely nostalgic. I had the Mark II Super 10, but not the ball barrel. Never had the ball barrel, always wanted one. Now I've got one. But it's terrible. It's spraying the pellets everywhere. First of all, thank you to each and every one of you who put a comment on the last video. I don't think I've had a comments to views proportion like that one, and it was all good stuff. And what you saw, which I couldn't see because you're all the way over there and I'm here looking down on it, is it looks like the shroud is touching the barrel here. I hadn't seen that. I'm too close. You know when you can't see the wood for the trees? If it wasn't for you lot, I'd still have been scratching my head. But look at this, right? Piece of paper, slide it up there, it stops. It can't get past this point. So it is touching. It is more than likely that that is the problem. Other things it could be are the magazine. There's a known fault apparently with magazines can affect accuracy. I've been searching for a single shot loader for this to no avail so far. If you know where there is one, where I can get one, please get in touch down below, leave a comment, ring me, mail me, send a carrier pigeon. I would love to find a single shot loader. A few other things to try besides. So it looks like this is my issue caused by this rather horrible aftermarket carbon fibre bottle. Now, I would love to find a genuine steel bottle for this. Again, if you know where there is one. If you have one you don't want, you've got the bottle, you had a spare and you sold the gun. A genuine short order, I think, as long as it doesn't go past the end of the barrel, I don't mind, but a genuine steel one, I would love to find one to take this back to genuine, because this carbon one is fouling there. So I believe you have found the problem for me. The easiest thing to do would be to take the shroud off and do another test without it. But it's Sunday at 12:15 in France. We don't make noise on a Sunday, full stop. And after 12, even the gun clubs shut at 12 so that you don't make any noise after 12. So I can't do that. I could wait until tomorrow, but I thought, no, that's what they'd expect you to do. I will test it tomorrow, but today I'm going to use this as an opportunity to take the gun apart and check the shroud and other things. I would like to see, because if it is the shroud, which I'm thinking it is, it's always going to be affected by that bottle. So I'm going to have a look to see if there's any way I can move the bottle, shim it maybe, so that it's just a couple of millimeters further down. I don't know if I can, but we shall see. And we're going to take it apart. Now, it's a PCP. Taking PCPs apart is a risky business if you don't know what you're doing. So what we need to do with this particular gun is very, very straightforward. I did get a thing about when I was talking about the regulator, somebody said, be careful, it's not still got air in it. We blew a hole in the ceiling trying to take one apart. And yet you could, but you need to let the pressure out first. And the way you do that is you unscrew your bottle a couple of turns like that, and then making sure there's no magazine in there. Making sure the safety's off. Make sure you cock it all the way. What we're doing is we're emptying the regulator of air. There we are, the noise is changing. A couple more turns. Eventually, we should get there we are. We're just clicking now. No air is coming out of there. That is just a pure click. That means everything's depressurized. You can feel it in the bottle. There's wobble there because there's no pressure behind it. We continue removing the carbon monstrosity, and we put it to one side. And now just to check. Checking is always a good thing. And chicken, in fact. Chicken and checking are good things. So that's it. We have got that off of there. First thing I'm going to do, actually, before I go further, is take off the shroud. It just unscrews. I'm going to try to... BSA PCPs, this is all new to me. Same as lots of things, it's as new to me as it is to you, or for most of you. A lot of you will have more experience of this than me, but the only way to learn is to do things. Now, I've unscrewed my shroud. See that? Look at that. There's gaffer tape there. I wonder what that's about. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing varifocals with flip-up lenses today because it's sunny, but I need to be able to see. And I'm getting used to the varifocals now. Thank you to everybody who's been asking me about that. So the shroud comes off. Let's knock out all the gubbins from inside of it. I do have particles. And it does look like lead. That figures. Yep, it's sparkly. I've got sparkly bits on my baffles, and I shouldn't have sparkly bits on my baffles. They're always a bad thing. In fact, that one has got a line and it's got a small deformation there and a line by it, so pellet's definitely been clipping that particular baffle. Like I said, I think we've got problem solved, but we're just going to carry on in here and see where we go. So the front of this should screw off as well. It does. So now I've got my tube with sparkly bits inside of it. Sparkly bits on the end of the butt plug, not butt plug, end plug. Thank you again so much. I genuinely mean that. I hadn't noticed. It was your perspective from that side of the camera looking at it side on that gave me the clue. Well, didn't give me a clue. You told me what was wrong with it, so thank you. Right, I'm going to take this gaffer tape off. I have no idea why it would be on there. Let's do this. There we go. Favourite screwdriver to the rescue, as usual. That's all solid. That's not. Look at that. Now that's not going to be helping, is it? I don't think so. That's not quite the right fit in there. Try a different one. Right. That is jammed solid. I think somebody's tried to tighten that and they've failed. And they thought, rather than tighten it, they'll put a bit of gaffer tape there to stop it moving. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, I think that's going to need, I think that's got thread lock in it. I think it's going to need heat. So I'm going to want to take, I think, the barrel off of here to do this. I don't want to risk doing it near the rest of the gun. So next thing to do is take the gun out of the stock. So let us take it apart. First thing I'm going to do, that's clever, I'm wearing sunglass clip-ons on this. As soon as it goes into shade, I couldn't see a damn thing. I'm going to take the safety catch off. Remember, before I start taking this apart, I have completely depressurized the system. Check again. Keep checking. Always check. Then I've got a screw here underneath, which will probably be a bolt rather than a screw, but we shall see. And then one at the rear here. And now the stock should lift away from the action. Ready for action. So what do we have here? I have got my trigger group. I have got my regulator with 177 written on it. This is running at about 10.4, 10.5 foot-pounds. I've been looking at ways of increasing the power on it. But you know what? I'm not going to bother. 10.4 to 10.5 foot-pounds in 177 is ideal for target. Why would you want to use more air? I'm only putting holes in paper or blowing up Lego men. They don't care how hard I hit them. But what I do need is an Allen key, the size of which I have not got here, and a blowtorch. So I'm going to go and get an Allen key and a blowtorch, and then we shall continue our dismantleization. And we are back. I'm going to put that on its side. Got the correct size Allen key here. So let's take it apart. Again, I will reiterate, there is no air left in this, no pressure. It has been tested. And it has been found to be empty. Failure to do that can result in injury. So please, please always make sure your PCP is empty before you start untwiddling the screws on it. I mean, really, seriously, that's not just a nanny state health warning. High pressure air is a dangerous thing. Anybody who does scuba will be able to tell you that. You can't mess around with it. It can be catastrophic. So we have emptied the gun. Sorry to keep going on about that. It's just I know otherwise I will have people leaving comments below saying, oh, you shouldn't encourage people to mess around with PCPs. You're probably right. But sometimes you need to repair things. So that's come out. Oh, there was a short screw there that went up through this base and sits into that recess there. That is for the stock to locate onto. So that all comes away and goes there. So I have my regulator and I cannot see how that is fixed in because it's held in place by that bracket. That's why. So pull that out. There is my completely empty regulator. Now, a clever thing on these regulators, I know because I've watched it on Tinterwebs, on YouTube in fact. If you don't use YouTube, check it out, it's brilliant. This thing here, right, we've got our plunger with a ball bearing there. What that is an anti-bounce feature so that when that comes back, the ball bearing catches it and it stops the hammer from bouncing. I don't know if you've ever had a PCP that's had hammer bounce on the valve, but when you fire it, it sounds like a fart. It goes like that because it does the first one, then a series of smaller ones towards the end. So instead of going bang, it goes like that. I had a Falcon that did it. It was hilarious. Everybody at the club thought it was anyway. So that's a really good feature. Really good feature, in fact. These regulators are notoriously difficult to take apart and notoriously bad. Lots of people will say and I would like to fit a humour regulator to this, and I may do at some point, but I don't believe it's the issue for accuracy, so that will be at a later date. Now, underneath this, before I lose any of it, just noticed I've got an O-ring there, which was sat on my, oh wow, wowzers, look at the length of that transfer port. That's huge. So transfer port, I've got one of the O-rings. I'm guessing the other O-ring is still down inside its very, very deep hole. Oh, that pulls out. There's my mag holder. So what I want to do now, so making more of a meal of that than I needed to. It's only crappy old man granddad glass things, but I want to see how to release the barrel. And I want to get that O-ring that I know must be down there out. You coming out? He's not coming out at the moment. It looks like did I bring more sizes of Allen key? Did I heckers like? Another Allen key required, back in a mo. I'm back with the right size Allen key. So, loosening them. In fact, I'm going to take them out completely because I don't know if there's indentations or what. That sun's warm, unsurprisingly. There's one, there's another one here. Got him. Glad they're not held in with thread lock. So if changing the barrel is this easy, I wonder if I could change it to a 2.2. No, I don't need to. 177's fine. It's for my wife after all. Let's see. Will that now? The barrel is loose. The barrel comes free. Good. And there is my O-ring. Pop that down there. There is my O-ring. So it doesn't fall out. I'm going to take... That's still okay. Take that out. Put it in there with the other one. So I've got my transfer port with an O-ring for each end. I have not lost one. That is good. So the barrel has grooves on it for the locating grub screws to stop it escaping. That won't come off of there, presumably because that grub screw there is down to a certain amount. So what I need to do now, I'm going to heat that, see if I can break down the thread lock and get that screw out, for which I will use. Now, these plumber's torch things, you get them from B&Q and or similar places. Other shops are available. They don't cost much. And who doesn't want a blowtorch? It is a blowtorch, isn't it? They run off these camping gas canisters. And they're great. They're brilliant. For anything that's got thread lock on, you can heat it up and break it down. Or if you're shortening a spring, I've done a couple of videos with it included. But it's the thing that people still contact me. Would I need to shorten a spring? The answer is usually it's unlikely, unless you've got an HW80, but it's unlikely. But if you do, it's a piece of piddle. But people are nervous about it. But having one of these, all you need is a bench grinder is a great thing. When they're on special offer in the middle of Lidl, get yourself a bench grinder, get one of these. You can shorten a spring in 2 minutes and enjoy it and hope that you have to do it again, because it's one of those things, once you've done it, it's like, what was I worried about? Spring needs shortening, I'll do that for you, mate. So I always store the top off of the bottle in case it leaks. Tweak him up, and here I've got my lighter. Now this is good luck. Found this in the supermarket. It's a torch, but put it on that setting, you can use it for lighting your gas torch, which is brilliant. What will they think of next? Let's just switch the gas on. There we go. You can't see the flame. Turn that off. Can't see the flame, but you can hear it. So I'm just gonna gently heat that. Usually, when it's heated enough, you get a little puff of smoke as the thread lock leaves go. It may take a little while because it's quite a thick piece of metal that it's in, and we have to get the heat all the way down inside of it. Don't want to catch me mat light. See if that's enough. Well, that's a problem. That's a potential issue. It seems like not only has somebody used gaffer tape because they couldn't do that up, they may also have rounded it out. These things are sent to test us. That's not good either. So that's now bloody hot. There we go. There we go. It's coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. There we go. We'll pop that down there momentarily. Switch that off and put him to one side. You can see there, or you may be able to see, it's quite a way away the camera, but that grub screw's got white all the way around it. That's the thread lock that was choking it, which is why whoever was using this previously couldn't do it up tight enough, which is why they used gaffer tape. These are all problems in and of themselves, but I don't believe they are the root problem of what we have here. The root problem is that the bottle is touching the shroud. So now I'm going to pop that to one side because it's what we call technically bastard hot. That is a technical term, like a bastard file, YouTube. It's not swearing. I'm going to have a little look here and see what can be done. See if I think anything can be done with regards to this situation. So that goes on there. The bottle goes on there. So what I need is I need to raise by a fraction. By a fraction. Oop. Hello. This is a puzzle, and this may be one where you can help. What I do need, what the fix, the actual real fix for this problem is to replace this bottle. Okay, that's that. Without a shadow of a doubt, the real way to fix this problem is to replace that bottle. But I would like to be able to use it while I'm looking for one, because it may take me a while to locate one. I would like the genuine one because it's a 1990s gun. I want it to be like a 1990s gun. When it's all finished and I've finished doing my accuracy testing, I'm not going to use the digital scope on it. I'm going to get a period scope for it, something that it would have been fitted with when it was new at the time. That's how I like to do my guns. I like to have them so they are little time capsules from younger days. But I think, therefore I am, if I just put that in upside down, well, crikey, that will confuse the issue. Did I put, no I didn't, it can only go in one way. So that goes onto there, that goes onto there, that sits inside of there, and I want it to go that way a little bit at the front to lower it down. I'm just going to try an aluminium foil shim towards the front of that and see if that does it. I'm going to do that off camera because I'm going to go and find some aluminium. Or should I just use should I just use a bit of this gaffer tape? Let's use a little piece of this gaffer tape. Now I know it's a bodge. I absolutely know this is a bodge. But I want to get this shooting in the meantime, and that's warm. That's warm now. Let me just see. Ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, another thing that what people mentioned while they was talking to me about what is wrong with this gun potentially is, there we are, look, I can actually do that up so it grips now. Check the crown of the gun. There is nothing wrong with the crown of that gun. Nothing wrong with the bore of that gun. I've also been advised to rod a pellet through. Let's do that. Tell you what, I'm going to put that down because it is a tad warm. I'm going to put that down. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to think about how I'm going to do an absolute bodge job on this temporarily until I get the correct bottle. Just saying, it's just for testing purposes, because if I can get the shroud in it, I can test it today. See, I don't like that bottle. That bottle's just bloody awkward. Stay. I can test it today. So I'm going to let that cool down. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to find a rod and a pellet. No, I haven't got a 177 rod. I haven't. I borrowed Den's. But I'm still going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to have a think about this bodge, and we shall return and see where we're getting to. You won't notice. It'll go in the flash of a like that. Do you know what I found? What you clever lot probably already knew about. I bet a good couple of dozen of you have been screaming at your TVs and or slash phones and iPads for the last 20 minutes. I do believe this screw here is an adjuster. Oof, if it works. If it moves, it does. An adjuster to adjust the height of the front of my regulator. Because if I just screw that back in and show you, yeah, everyone's a critic. That's Henrietta Clutterbuck in the background moaning at me. But if I pop that in situ, you will see, should see, there, like that. I've got a recess there to that screw head, and that screw head does nothing at all. So I'm thinking that's what I use. If I just get it into the correct place, we should see it drop in. That, like that. That's locked into place there, and that's sitting flush. So I think by adjusting that screw out, I can adjust the fit of the buddy bottle to the shroud. And it could have been as simple as that. So I'm just going to do that, one turn outwards like that, and I'm going to present it and see what effect that has had. Yeah, that's lifted it away. That's lifted it away. So, could it be that simple? Could it be that simple? Do you know what? Let's find out. At the very least, I can put it all back together again and we can see if we're now not touching. I still don't like that carbon bottle. I'm not going to beat around the bush with that one. I don't like it. I don't want it. I want the real one. I want the genuine article in there. So, what we need to do first is my mag holder that sits in there like that. That's good. Next I need my transfer port with its O-rings, my exceedingly long transfer port. It's already quite a wide bore now. I'm not after increasing the power on this. I'm really not. I've mentioned this. I was toying with the idea, but since toying with the idea, I've gone off it. I don't really want to. I don't need. It's an air rifle. It doesn't need to be powerful. It's for targets. So let's just move that out of the way so I can get more light in there. Use my favourite screwdriver to finagle that into position. Thusly, transfer port dropped onto. That could be easier. Right, I might need to loosen those two grub screws until I get the transfer port. I've done those up thinking, oh, you can just put that on. But that was before I found that particular thing, is what I was telling you about. Why are you not locating properly? I want you to go down into that hole. There we go. So that's in there. It was there. Yeah, it's just bouncing on the O-ring and it's come out again now. I took it out. There we go. So it's got a little bit of bounce on it because it's on a rubber O-ring, and that is good and how it should be. Now the barrel I can see here on the back face or the front face of where the magazine well is. So I just want to make sure that isn't. There we go. Look at that. Make sure that's perfectly flush with that part. And then I shall just tweak these up, which hold the barrel in place like that. I've already done that one up. That is in place and it is secure. Now I'm going to put my transfer port in. Honestly, what's he like? Go in there. That's in and that's bouncing on the rubber. Exactly how I want it to be. I put my magazine holder in there and I get my other O-ring from here, place it on top of the transfer port. Then I find my cigar, which some people call these a cigar. That's all, because it's kind of cigar shaped. Now then. No, we don't do Jimmy Savile impressions. It's no longer appropriate. Or Rolf Harris. Let's see. That goes there. Are you gonna sit in place, or am I gonna have to argue with you? Where's that O-ring gone then? Put the O-ring back on there. That on there, that on there, that on there. That's all the right way round. Tell you what, is it easier if I cock the action? Then I'm not fighting against the hammer spring. As I say, this is first time, doubt it'll be the last. That goes down there, that goes down there, and that is sitting proud ever so slightly at that end because of that screw. So I get my block, I get the short screw that sits inside of there, and this will only go on one way round, and that is that way, like that. And then I get my 4 tensioning socket screws, socket cap screws. I don't know, do you know, it's so complex. I used to know the names of all of them. Set screws, machine bolts, socket caps, mushroom caps. Old age is a terrible thing. Right, now, is it this one? It is. So we're doing these up. Just a tweak first of all, because I don't want to over tighten anything, because I'm guessing at that one. I'm guessing, but we'll see. So bringing those down and bringing these down, I should end up with a small gap toward the front, like that. But that is nevertheless held very, very tightly in place. Now, if I put my shroud onto here, I haven't got the baffles in it yet. This is just a dry one. And then my bottle onto there. I've got quite a decent gap there. It's still at the wrong angle, but I've got quite a decent gap. So I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this. I am. You see if I don't. So, spring. Baffle. In fact, spring baffle. Spring baffle. Spring baffle. Spring end cap. Do that up. That's all my baffles and springs and the end cap in place in the shroud, which is on and not moving and not wiggling, even without the aid of gaffer tape. Now, he says, thinking it through, put all those in there. Magnetic, you see, I've got magnetic screw holder. Stops things blowing away. That is that. So I'm going to see if the stock still goes on with that sitting more proud than what it was before. Like that. It's a tense moment. Not gonna lie. That one does up. That one does up onto its side. Safety catch. Now the safety catch does only go on one way. Let's just have a little look and see which way that is. Is it that way? It's kind of, yeah, off-centered. So it goes on that way. That's good. Let's pop him into there. Do this one up with the favourite screwdriver. There we go. That functions. We're still very empty because we haven't got the bottle back on. Now it's time to put the bottle on. Now, 1 time out of 4, when I put this bottle on, it starts leaking air. That's another issue. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But we'll see if it happens this time. I need to put it on. Oh, that's gone on and it's sealed. Oh, now, look at that. Look at that. I have got a gap all the way along there. If anything, I've adjusted it too much. But it's look at the angle that's at. That's just nasty. It is just nasty. But it's on. It's pressurized. The only thing I can do now is test it. Over to the range. 3, 2, 1, we're back in the scope. I'm using the same setup as I used in last week's video with my DMT Thermonite TNC 225 on the gun. Simply because if you're doing an accuracy test of a gun, you need to eliminate as many other things as possible. So by using a digital scope, a DNT digital scope, I know it's not the scope. There's no parallax error possible with this scope. And also I can record through it, which is a huge bonus. So I've got 8 shots left in the magazine. I've just done 2 sighter shots to make sure it was still roughly zeroed. And so what I'm going to do, I'll change to a black reticle for the conditions of the day. And I'm going to load the gun, and we'll put 8 shots into one of the circles here. Now, there's a little bit of wind, not an awful lot, not enough to worry about. I want to come down a little bit. Let's just adjust that down. I'm using the same QYS pellets that I was before, because in the last video I'd put maybe 30 pellets down the barrel and I haven't fired it since, so it should be leaded into these pellets. If all goes well, I will be continuing my pellet exploration with this gun afterwards, but this is fixing the problem I had. Now I need to stop talking now and actually concentrate on doing a shot, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, I'm not sure where that is, but we'll carry on. Leave a little time between shots. Now somebody has said that the regulator needs time to equalise between shots. I'm not sure how true that is, but I'm just giving it a few seconds. Why am I over that way? Come back. That one's dropped a little low. Quietly confident. My shooting aside, that's looking good. Oh, let me just do the range findy thing, because I didn't do that to start with. There we go, 30 metres on the top there. You'll see that's 30 metres. That's range. I'm using the range finder. It's exactly the same distance as it was before. And this is the last shot. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in on that so you can see I've got 3 shots, 1, 2 and 3, that are way away from the actual group of 5, which is that one there. So it's certainly a step in the right direction. I think in the next video I'm going to be doing pellet testing, and I'm going to be doing what I said before, the weighing, the checking, the visual check, weighing the pellets, cleaning them and sizing them, and we'll see what difference that makes. And I'm going to be testing the QYS's, the Air Arms Fields, JSB Exacts, and, because one of you lot suggested it, the boxed Crossman Premiers, and we're going to give that all a go next time. It's close, but no cigar, except for the cigar that's inside it, of course. We're getting there. What should I do next? What can I do next? Will it get any better than this? I don't know. You probably do, and it is you guys I rely on for help with things like this. So leave a comment below. Hit like, notifications, subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.